With the narrative television, adapting that to this region is also challenging because a lot of comedy is based on sexual innuendo, and so adapting that here is also challenging because of the conservative.
I'm not a big fan of that. The Office, the British show, was adapted all over the world. In France, they did an adaptation where all the boss does is hit on people. And it's very French, I guess. But I was like, that doesn't seem like that's the whole point of the show. But
did it work?
I don't know if it worked.
Yeah.
It didn't work for me.
Didn't know no, I didn't mean like that. I just didn't know if the French Office was successful.
I think the French, what
the French, they like it.
Yeah, what they took out of it was, a powerful man. He's going to act like
But we really don't like that, like as just stories. I mean, not that we don't like it. We just don't go to it. It's like a cheap way to get a laugh, or a cheap way to get
a reaction.
It's an easier way. And one of the things that Greg does in all of his work is he builds an architecture around a joke. He goes down and builds the basement, then he adds the first floor, and then by the time you get to the penthouse, you're rolling laughing because he's architected this whole, process around this individual's mistake or choice or whatever it is.
So the answer is it's more challenging, but it's doable.
But also, totally. And also I think humor. You look around at different countries. Like I don't know if you've traveled in South America, bought a lot of formats there. The humor that's in, for example, Mexico on television that we get in Los Angeles is
feels absurd.
A very different type of humor. Yeah, it's a lot of older men and younger women and weird sounds and guys in chicken suits. It's just like a very
pies. Yeah.
Comedy is probably one of the most.
Jerry Lewis is always the example,
as
universal, and harder exploit ball player, lead, or the one
about specificity and being universal.
I'm not sure where that came from. I use it all the time. I think it might have been Tolstoy or some kind of old Russian novelist. But the idea
giving away his Harvard education.
The idea being that if you're very truthful and specific in your own circumstances, it has value and it becomes universal, and people will find it interesting.
See, and I really agreed and resonated. That resonated with me when you said that. And I think someone was talking about how that might not work because when you're specific to a place like the UAE, then it's harder to make something travel. That was a discussion that happened after you said that.
Yeah.
And I think those were two different things that that person was looking at, and it is because that is another challenge is getting things out and making it relatable because our culture is different than other cultures, even though in the region, these countries are closer together. But that's a challenge.
I think there's two boxes.
Yes.
There's the box around, okay, we've built this really great idea, let's remake it somewhere. And then there's the box of let's build a global show that can play everywhere in the world. And I think those are the rhythms that a smaller market needs to really amplify. In the United States, we have the luxury of having a market that suddenly as you export it, people are relating to those characters.
But I would draw a distinction between an export business and your culture.
I would say is next time, please don't shut the air conditioning because we're all sweating.
This is the UAE, and so you're
it's
right.
a little warm.
So until next time, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.